My name's Face, and I think we as a society and a collective, especially for that of Super Earth, need to have a serious conversation and understanding between the dumb shit that is spoken, especially on Reddit, which is just a shithole. Um, let's preface there. First,
Galactic war waits for no one.
yep,
Are
Galactic
you
War
ready,
waits for no one.
HellDiver?
We're gonna look at stuff. Now, I've been floating around for a while, checking shit out. Now, um, it's about 4 p.m. No, almost 5 p.m. Korea Standard Time. I live in Asia. Okay, so high and low point dips. Um, in my time are going to be the same U.S. time or European time, so just be mindful of that, just kind of as a preface. But we're going to start with um, just dumb shit on Reddit, because why the fuck not? And if you want to at me, fine. I don't give a shit. Just so you know. Uh, so a lot of people are kind of like being shitheads, right? So, especially when we look at this kind of comment here from Oren Voriel, all right? Creekers keep demanding us to come back to the bot front, and now we have. They won't leave their creek to either help take Ubinea or to defend drop near. Weeks of demanding we leave the bug front to help them take the planet that has no real value to our past or current orders. They've consistently failed to take. Now that the backup has still arrived, they still won't leave to focus where it matters. Um, help with the major order and defense order at drop near, and you can go back to your creek once we take Tibet. This also extends to people fighting on the bug front. The offensive to take Tibet needs reinforcements, and I agree with this specific statement. Um, nobody gives a fuck. All right, and actually, I'm gonna downvote. It's a stupid fucking comment, and I'm gonna discuss why. All right, they won't leave their creek to help take to Ubanao or drop near. Now, I have here a series of fucking videos um, that we'll look at over the weeks, and they're all labeled by date on the top. So if I pull this one up, March 20th um, is a date. Let's see right here. I got March 1. All right, so we'll kind of start, uh, try to start by date here. 19, 23, 13, March 2nd, March 1st, March 20. Okay, so we'll go with March 1st. I'm gonna play videos of recordings I've made before to kind of show just little glimpses of numbers. All right,
As well,
we're at
it is
93% on Veld.
it is for the good.
122,779 just in the Orion sector by itself.
Damn morning.
All right. This planet, Veld, by itself has 122,000. And that's for the order, and that's great. Now, when I play, typically on the weekends, I do play during the weekdays. On the weekdays, I play between 4 p.m. till maybe 8 or 9 p.m. It just depends. I have that luxury. I can afford to do that. And yes, I have a full-time job for you fucking nerds. Um, wondering. 122,000. All right. Yeah. Wow. What does that work? They were like, yeah, it's it. So that's just one day. 122,000 on the first. Here's the second. We're gonna same thing. I'm gonna skip back a couple seconds.
We cannot let the enemy any closer to Super Earth.
Oop. 246,964. Mind you, I play between 4 p.m. and 10 to 11 p.m. All right? We have 5 days for this major order. 65% 247,000. We'll just rough it out. 178 on Turing. 66,000 on a rate of prime. I've seen these numbers hit 100,000, 200,000, and 400,000 just in the terminate section. I can't quite find it. I've been looking for hours for any proof of it, but I have seen on the higher end cap 400,000 just to do major orders. And that's not a big deal. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's a great number. 22,000 on Crimsica. That's a very important planet. You have no idea how important Crimsica is on the Terminid front. I don't think a lot of people do, and I'll explain game mechanics in a while. 0.0073. And we're looking at Hellmeyer here, 12,700-ish. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's an okay number. Now we're gonna 72,000 there and 30,000 there. In the sector on all between all planets. And yeah, we got 30,000. We're at 19% on the 2nd of March. That's pretty good. And if I'm not mistaken, I started this at 1604. I could be wrong. I think that's like with the timer start, um, or clock start. I might be wrong on that. Now we're gonna go to another one. That's the 20th. Oh, that's March 3rd. Oh, we'll go back to this. I'll show you this. This is important for another reason. March 8th. All right, this is important. We got the mechs, and this explains it. You can pause. I'll give you a second to pause. So, anyways, that's good to get, but it's only a matter of time. Will be severely delayed. Will be severely delayed. I'm fucking this up because that's good. 137,679 just to get a robot. Everybody was like, yeah. But when we look at the bug front, and you're looking at 250,000, quarter million souls. And I've seen up to 600,000 in a bug sector alone. I have. That's a fantastic number. Everyone pitched together for the most part. 137,000 people were like, fuck yeah, let's get mechs. They're great. And we banded together for a common goal. And we'll talk more about unity of efforts. 1,433. Guess where they are? Yeah, that's right. Malevolon. Since March 8th, this is the lowest I've ever seen it. And I thought 7,000 was going to only ever be its lowest. All right. And we're looking at maybe 11 o'clock. I'm pretty sure that was a weekend, maybe. No, it was Friday. So it was my last day, working day. So yeah, I played super late. Malevolon is dropping. So we went from 19 to thousands, 5,000, hundred thousandths of a percent.
Every system will soon exult in the glory of managed democracy.
And it's slowly pinging, slowly plugging. I think we completed that mid. I'm it's 96% upgraded. I'm not gonna bother with 96% and 137,000 people. I'm
We
not.
had
It's
5 days
getting
on
taken
that
care of.
previous order. Did we
We have a day and
go ahead?
23.
We have to defend on
57,000 on Ventura's Venture.
Ventures
Good number.
still.
It's okay. It can get the job done.
I think we completed that major order. Complete 6 secondary objectives. Yeah.
So with a day and 23, 97%, I was fairly confident, right? So great. I'm gonna go.
Crazy.
I think I hit the creek on
Alright,
this.
let's look at our automaton counterback.
Blah blah blah.
This
So
ain't
that's that. Um, the 13th, the 20th. So here's the 13th.
So essentially, what happens is
363,070 in a sector, in the umlaut sector. Okay? 6 days for a major order with almost 400,000. And like I said, I've
The
seen it
efforts of HellDivers
hit above
across the
600K
galaxy are all that keeps the enemy
in the
from
terminated
liberty's
sector.
doorstep.
16,000 there.
are not our fuel.
That's Carrier planet now stand.
Just figure that.
Message from Carrier planet now station. See after. I have to.
That's bugs.
72,000 in the Czar sector. Eh. 84 84% with 70,000. So, like, if we can do it with about 70K and keep something sustained up to 80% and the other side, which has 6 days to do something and can pull 400,000 fucking people, 600,000 people,
Bugs, believe it or not,
16,000
our fuel.
on fucking Malevolent. And we're at 4/10ths of a percent. Sorry, 400ths of a percent. Right? They won't leave their creek to help take it. Weeks of demanding the bug front help them take the planet with no real value past their current orders. Let me explain why now this is a stupid comment. Not alone because of the sheer numbers put on the terminated front, which I have proven over the course of several weeks. Several fucking weeks. Go back to the bug front. Yeah, that's a fucking valid comment. And it's dumb that this fucking guy is saying this stupid shit. So if we actually currently look, 70,000, 11,000, it's dipped a lot. This was pushing 50,000 earlier in my morning. 41,000 here, and I have 32,000 here, right? Now, when I'm normally on, mind you, it's 5 p.m. Korea Standard Time for me, we can see a 400,000 point hump. We got a day and 4 hours. Drop near 40,000 with 70, and we're pulling 68 with 30. We were barely fucking sustaining 19% for the longest time, and we've been under a percent for almost over a fucking month, right? And we're climbing. And look at the number tick. 40,000 there, 20,000 there. Why? Why? We can, if we can sustain at least 10K, right? And keep these three sectors kind of where they're at, locked in what we would call an attrition. No one's moving, no real gain, a shit ton of loss, but that's on both sides, right? Why can't we put 20,000 here? Sure, we'll keep 11, 10,000 there, not a big deal. Move move the remaining 40,000 over here where it matters. Weeks weeks of saying, "Hey, come fucking help us." And now that we are physically in need because of a major order in Tibet to press, nobody wants to fucking show. That's exceptionally fucking stupid, in my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of fucking people, when someone makes a stupid fucking comment like that. Now, if I go back to some other bullshit thing, yeah, this was earlier, 7 hours ago. They were rocking 20,000 people in Mirren, and they were rocking 112,000 in Draco. And I was saying the same thing earlier. Why can't we just keep 20,000 and then move 90 over to help us? Why? Why? A 50% sustainment. You know, if we can do it with 70,000, we can do it with 50,000. Fuck it. Let's take half their fucking guys. Put 25 on each one. Why not? 95,000 Creekers really contribute nothing to the war effort, which eventually causes them to not be able to fight on Levelon Creek, right? But here's the thing, right? When you have 300,000 on a fucking front and you have a 6-day wait order for that, and you guys get it in like a day and a half, and then we got 28 fucking hours to show for, and then you go, oh, oh God, all these automaton fighters. Guess what? They can't fucking cut it. They can't fucking hack it. You guys aren't sustaining us in the fucking first place. Yeah, I'm doing my part, and this is how exhausted we fucking look at the end of it, right? Oh, and this comment, I really want to make this comment, which is stupid as fuck too, because we're gonna talk about mechanics here in a sec. But not everyone is on fucking Reddit to read about the dumbass supply lines, right? Oh, yeah, they're dumb. Okay, sure, sure, they're fucking dumb. Uh, and this one, right? Malevolent Creek doesn't connect to Banner or Tibbet, so we have to go to drop near if we want to win the major order. We have a chance to make it, and it's going to be close. Um, yes and no. Yes and no. Creek crawlers last month. Guess what a month ago was? Guess what? We had like again 50, 70,000 at most at a fucking peak for a couple days. For a couple days. Oh, and now we look like fucking clowns? Yeah, why do we look like clowns? Because we're not being fucking reinforced. Clearly. 73, 72,000, 73,000 between these two sectors. And yeah, it's about balanced here. But coincidentally, it's only when we have to do shit here that doesn't get us a fucking cool mech or a cool item or something that we need that's useful. That's fucking weird. It's like Russia bias on fucking War Thunder. It's absurd as fuck. Yeah, it's literally turned out to be a long, bloody, costly war in a jungle that ended, uh, in the end, it contributed nothing to the grand scheme of things. It changed nothing. Yeah, it's Vietnam. Yeah, haha. We're gonna talk about supply lines now. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about this. All right. Supply lines. Oh, we're gonna close that piece of shit. These are the supply lines, okay? And we're gonna, as we call in the military, we're gonna make this shit Barney style. What's happening here? I paused this for a reason. We're going to help a little bit. 5,000 people on Malevolon on the 20th. Hold on. We got a. All right, we'll 83,000 in Draco. Oh, weird. They have 2 days. Cool. Oh, 8,000 there. Me, me.
We're crushing it.
Hellmeyer. There's always contention on Hellmeyer. Always. When are we not fighting on Hellmeyer, right? So anyways, let's look at this picture. So this here is this guy. This here, this is our um Seraphim sector, right? So if we kind of smoosh it a little bit, all right, and we bring this over. Malevolon is right here. This guy. So I got 1, 2, 1, 2. I got this guy right here. All right. This is drop near. This little guy right here. Drop near, right? Cool. Cool. Drop near connects to Malevolon. So as we look at the supply chains, Malevolon goes way across. What up, Smiley? Or Millie, sorry. Goes way the fuck up here. And yeah, I got you, Millie. And then it also connects here to drop near. Drop near connects down to Bane, and it'll eventually reach Tidbit. So everyone's like, oh, we need to go here so we can go 1-2, right? Drop near connects to Malevolon. Now, is it fun to lose this? No, because we can still get into here. We still have access to Malevolon. So if we win Malevolon and lose this, guess what? We got 1, 2, and then 3. If we get dropped near, yeah, we got 1, 2. Now, who wants to fight one extra fucking planet? Nobody. It's gross. But here's the thing about the mechanics, right? Humans and automatons follow supply routes. They do. So they're not pushing over here and here. You haven't seen real fighting or real combat in these areas because of how these chains connect. Now, I'm not entirely sure about game mechanics on how, if anyone was over here, how they would push into here or be able to merge into here, but we took this with fucking ease, right? We got into here because of Drop Near. Drop Near is one of those places, just like Hellmire, where there's a lot of fighting. It's a core area. Now, Malevolon Creek, we'll call it the heart of the Seravan sector because it's in the middle. It connects into... Alright, so it connects into two planets into another sector. And it hits a pretty wide area, and it's a focal point. You can pretty much maneuver where you want between two sectors and internally into itself in the Seravan. So with that, robots need supply lines. That's just how they function. Now on the other side, bugs, terminids, okay? We were talking about Crimsiga being really important earlier. Um, They don't move off of supply lines. Bugs move with whatever planet touches it. Crimsica touches Astanu, it touches Fori Prime, it touches Akamar, it touches Meridia. I don't know if it exactly touches Turing or if it exactly touches Gakruk. Um, but anything that it touches, it doesn't even need to be in this sector. It'll push into it if it gets overrun. So could they push into Crimsica? Sure. From Astanu? Yeah, they could. They could also push into Fenrir. They could push into Meridia. They could push further into Hellmire. Not that they would. Maybe reinforce. Perhaps Oshoan, right? They don't follow supply lines. Once the bugs do the thing, they move on. Bugs don't need supply lines. They're fucking bugs. They don't think like that. And when we talk about game mechanics, right? Yeah, a lot of people say, oh, the robots, they're fucking easy. All right, and that's people who've been playing fucking robots the majority of the fucking time. Most people say, oh, the robots are fucking hard. And that's typically Terminid players. You, they're two different enemies. All right, you have more melee combat with some ranged combat for your Terminids, where you have mostly ranged combat and very few melee with the automatons. And we look at capability and strength and how they fortify in position, that's going to start mattering more and more and more. Bugs don't need weapons. They don't need those kinds of supplies. They just reproduce. They lay eggs and then they're done, right? Now the bugs have their own in-game mechanics too. Well, you can just stealth all the fucking automatons, blah blah blah. There's an in-game thing for bugs where they can apparently smell. Okay, now I'm not the leading expert on fucking bugs robot when it comes to game coding and mechanics, but I have reason to believe that. I played on a lot of bug planets. I've done a lot of Terminid missions, and you can't really get close to a bug. They're gonna find you pretty quick, right? Robots don't have noses. They can't fucking smell you, right? But
The
they can
efforts
hear
of
you.
HellDivers across the galaxy are all that keeps the enemy from Liberty's doorstep.
They can see you, and they'll shoot you. Now, you're not necessarily gonna get sniped by a fucking bug. from a mile away by a skinny fuck with a rocket launcher, which happens all the fucking time on terminated fucking planets when we're fighting. But you will get bombarded by a lot of artillery and bile, right? From bile spewers and stuff like that, right? And it's, yeah, very reminiscent of Starship Troopers, of course, right? A lot of people love it. It's a good fandom, and that's fine. But this number is going to keep dropping. And how these numbers work, these liberation percents, we put up 10, 20, 30%, in a day. The game goes, well, you must sustain 35%. So you could put up 30%, but you're going to lose by 5%. So I don't know how many minutes, how many hours, or how many, if they do it by the day, but there is proof, and the devs have talked about it, where there is a ratio of percent of, you must meet this much liberation to equal zero or gain. Otherwise, you lose, right? And it goes for everything. And when we talk about robots and bugs and stupid jackass comments, um, like this, or oh man, ooh, well, we have to at least go to here, right? Like, if you don't understand fundamental game mechanics, right, then and I'm not a professional tactician, but I do study military, I do study war, right? We can take the Ukraine situation and the war with Russia, for example, right? And how they do supply chains, all right? And how their higher command dictates what's going to happen before their lower members even operate at all. And it's all done by officers for the Russians. Their middle management, middle enlistment, like E5, E6 types, aren't aren't taking control, aren't making orders, aren't making decisions, right? That's all officers. We're in the U.S. If you're a non-commissioned officer, you got some weight, you got some pull. You can say, and an E5 and an E6 has like the same power and authority as a major in NATO, just about. All right, when it comes to inner authority. Um, the robots fight wildly different than the bugs. So to say, oh, it's easier or it's harder, they have different needs. And yes, it's a game. I get that. But if you don't treat this like war, because it's a war simulator, if you don't treat it for what it is, then you're going to be blind by how any of it really operates or what the real take of war is, right? So, yeah, we can get drop near and go 1-2 and call it a day. But if we lose drop near, yeah, can it access other parts into here? Sure. Is it going to suck ass? Yes. It very much will. It it very much will. But how their supply chain goes, we just take one planet. We take one planet back. Ooh, it puts us back one. It puts us back one. And if we can sustain Malevelon with 30,000 people consistently, right? The fact that you guys need 400,000 and half a fucking day really shows gross incompetence on a lot of levels between just casual players. And yeah, it's fine. Be a casual player. Have fun. It is a game. But if you're gonna be this fucking invested in telling people what to fucking do in Reddit, right? Then at least grow fucking incompetent somewhere else or become competent and like actually try to figure out this. And yeah, we use these. The automaton guys, the robot guys, we use this fucking map because it applies to us over here. We talk about unity of effort, right? We don't we don't need 400,000 people on one side, 600,000 people between three fucking planets is stupid. 100, 200, and 400,000 is ridiculous. It's great that it got done real fast. And it was over in a day, and then nothing happened over here. And then these diehard fans of Malevolent, yeah, who actually understand that it's the core and it's the heart of the Seravan, and it has implications that reach all the way the fuck over to Popley. All the way over. And Popley is very important to move into the Trigon sector. It is. It is the important place. And we took Popley fairly fast. And we severed this tie off. And that's how we gained it. With maybe 100,000, while people over here are pushing 500,000, 200,000 in a day, 300,000 in a day. But no one wants to fight robots, so 70% of the fucking base is gone. And we have very minimal fucking efforts. 70K between two spots is, and we're sustaining the war front with that many people. Is it really shows the capability and the ability of automaton player bases and what they can do. So when we talk about unity of effort, right? And this is coalition forces. We talk about armed forces and the coalitions. You have one country that's, you know, it's got a war going on. Afghanistan, Iraq, that's a great example. It's still fresh. Um, and we, as Americans, go in there because we have an invested interest. And yeah, some of you are going to say oil, and that's good. That's fine. That's not untrue to a certain point. WMDs, Bush administration, all this shit, right? Anyways, everyone wants a piece of pie or a piece of the cake, right? But if we take it in terms of cake, which is an easier analogy, some people want the corner piece. Some people want that big frosting flower that's decorated, and they want to eat that. Some people aren't big on frosting, like myself, and would prefer a centerpiece, right? But people are greedy little shitheads and want as big of a piece of cake as they possibly fucking get. But there's only so much cake. And if there's 40 hands trying to grab at some fucking cake, we got to figure out amicably and reasonably with our coalition military partners how we will divide that cake, those resources, the manpower, the rewards, and our divested interests as several nations in a unified combatant command fighting for a common goal or interest to achieve national interest. So, diehard Malevolent guys
Every system will
want
soon
the heart
exult
of the
in the
Seravan
glory of
sector so
managed
that we have
democracy.
freedom and mobility to engage on a front. Now, we have to look at us in the middle as us being in the middle. It's very literal, it's very in your fucking face about it. Now, if when we took this sector and we were like, yeah, Rate of Prime's good, Turing's good, right? We did a little Fenrir and a little Meridia. We took it. We threw we threw hundreds of thousands of people out here. And once they were dead, they pushed back. They could have pushed into here, they could have pushed over here. And the fact that we can sustain this little bit, that's good. But we've done more work over here with less manpower, and we've conquered two zones, and we're still floating with, oh, you lost one and then you gained it back. I'm not sure if we did anything over here. I don't think we did. But when we look at Crimsica, again, keeping these zones safe off of this planet, it's super important. It borders two regions and possibly four planets. And these two planets border fucking a lot themselves. And if we lost this, they could still push back into there. They could drive down. And yeah, it would take a little bit for them to trail these three. It'd be easier to grab this for them because then they can get more mobile. They can push directly up into here real fast. So we look at a unified front with unity of effort, right? To be able to say, yeah, at a minimum, we need 30,000 people on Malevolent to keep this number growing and sustaining slowly. We're not going to make this in a day. We might make this in a day. Might. No, yeah, can we pull 19,000 off and push here? Yeah. Is that number going to increase? You're fucking right. But let's look at the trend. 0.71, 0.8. Okay, that's 9. And, okay. And let's look at this. That was a huge jump. That was an absurdly huge jump. You don't see that often. And I think that might be the game calculating. We have to prevent them from getting here direct. The robots, they want to get to... Where are you? Oh, this one. They want to get to Cyberstan. That's their goal. They just want to go home. And I'm not a bot sympathizer. I'm not. But that's their motive, is to get to Cyberstan. They say they want peace. They won't fucking enslave us, all this shit. They got a long fucking way to go. And if we look at how they get into there, they have to get this or this. But again, I don't understand the mechanics enough to figure out how they would move between these two. But once we lock this down, they're not going to get it for a while. So, again, yeah, yes and no for this. It would be faster to take drop near. It would be nicer to take drop near. But a whole month in sustaining 7K, 2K, 1K, 1,500 people, just to make sure the bugs can't move or the automatons can't fucking move, is actually pretty fucking incredible. That there are dedicated people like that. So why the fuck can't 50,000, 40,000 people move over? They're too afraid because they don't understand this. They don't know how to fight because they see this and they're so used to this that they don't want to change their tactics, their methods on the combat. So I'm gonna bring this up. We did a hell dive. We completed all 3 ops. Easy. It's okay. Hooray.
Oh, it actually counted then.
So 9665.
Oh no, it didn't.
Put 3 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 digits over, 3 points. 40 minutes a mission. All right. I took an hour to put 3 tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. 3 10,000ths of a fucking percent up. Okay? 3 10,000ths. Now if I go here, I go to Malevolon, and I go on to Trivial, and I do the stupidest shit known to fucking man. Fuck it, it's gonna be with this guy. 3 10,000ths.
Greetings, HellDiver.
Initiating FTL jump 2.
If I take 40 minutes a mission, that's 120 minutes to put 3 10,000ths of a percent up on HellDive. And you saw the 250%.
FTL jump successful. Hellpods primed. Mission coordinates locked.
And I'm going to start my personal timer here. Proof point. And time starts on screen, so starting now.
Go now. And fear the shadow
Oh, alright, that's it.
no tyranny, but justice is your call.
Orbital inbound.
Freedom has prevailed. Now head to the extraction point.
Requesting order.
I would run. Run, run, run. I got artillery inbound. You'll make it. I believe in you. If you stay there, you will probably die.
Joining the fray. Calling in extraction.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Bag's empty. New bag. Bag's empty.
ETA T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Another diver for the cause.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
Reporting to the front.
Got a sample.
ETA T-minus 30 seconds. ETA T-minus 20 seconds. ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone.
Orbital incoming.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup. Pelican 1 landing
Orbital
sequence
inbound.
initiated. Watch where you're standing.
Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area.
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
3 minutes, 27 seconds.
You have maintained our way of life.
Five minutes on the board. That's fair. Eleven four. I know.
There's nothing sweet.
We went from 11.1149 94. So, in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I put 1/10,000th of a point up.
Welcome aboard, HellDiver.
And people spend
Congratulations on
120 minutes just to put 3. So,
The hour of our next victory rapidly approaches. Let us cleanse the galaxy of alien scum.
Let's say 3 minutes. That's 20. That's 20 points in an hour. That's 40 points in 2 hours. And people are sitting on fucking HellDive, spending 40 minutes a mission.
A worthy choice.
40 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay, 12 minutes there for for that shuffling. 40, 15, that's okay, a reduction one. You don't always have these blitz or reduction ones, but the point is, I've made my money. I have more than enough. All right. But when we talk about big numbers, right? If you really want to win the war, you have to fight on trivial. And I know that sounds stupid as fuck. It does. But you need money, you need samples to get better weapons, better equipment, better refresh and cooldowns. Great, perfect. That's fine. You have to build up. You have to, right? And the more money you make faster, the more you can buy shit modules. You can buy all of the stratagems, right? It costs a fuck ton of money. It does. And it costs a lot of time. And I have probably, well, let's see on Steam. Maybe 150, 160, 160 hours. All right? And it took me a while to get to this point. You want to win the war, you got to fight on trivial. You got to do these 2-minute blitzes, and I can guarantee you, level 50, this guy knows what the fuck's up. He can strike these and blitz these in probably about 7 minutes. And if we look at a 7-minute time standard, that's 8.5 missions. All right, that's 17 points in an hour if he kept doing these sabotage air bases. And that is killing everything and extracting. It is that fucking easy and that possible. But why? And that's okay. We're on HellDive. I will take that back. You will find level 50s that can and will. Level 31. This guy, he's soloing, right? Because he understands that the percent increase gain from completing a trivial mission is just as equal as doing a HellDive. And if you want to win the war, it's a percentage game. That's it.
The enemy is attempting to seize
So,
one of our planets.
who the
We
fuck
must
is
join the
really
defense.
out here fighting the real fight on trivial? And it sounds stupid, but you know, your fucking 400,000 that it takes you to fucking complete a mission in a day has nothing compared to what we're doing on trivial for a whole fucking month. It doesn't even fucking stack. And I'm not saying us bot dudes are smarter. I can probably go find a trivial dude on this fucking planet that's super fucking high level. 32 and 25. Yep, these guys probably understand it. Level 1.
The enemy has launched a cowardly attack against one of our planets. Will you defend it?
Gross, gross. Meh.
This will leave
Hellmeyer.
your righteous
Why are we fighting on
extermination,
Hellmeyer still?
HellDiver.
42, that guy gets it. He's fighting level 30, that guy gets it. You're not seeing him nearly as much, because people want to make the money, get the cheddar, get the samples, right? And that's cool, that's fine. But when we talk about war theory and how the mechanics here fucking work, right? It makes this look stupid. It makes this look just ignorant as fuck. And yeah, you know, tell these guys, you know, ooh, two people were salty about that. 3 people were fucking salty about that. That's fucking right? Wild. It's wild. And it fascinates me that the vast ignorance of a lot of people. Look, I got 1, 2, yeah, he's cool. Yeah, I got like 2, 3 fucking dudes rocking trivial on one planet. And you might find one on another one. I could probably find this even more on fucking Drop Near. I might have to refresh. But here, let's just fly over here. Fuck it.
Initiating FTL jump to
Fuck
the
it.
drop near system.
Wow. I'll sit here all day. I don't need money. I don't. I don't need
Jump
fucking...
complete. Mission preparation aborted.
Ooh.
Mission coordinates
Don't need
locked.
fancy shit. 16, 18, yeah, 18, 14. So yeah, I mean, they're lower levels, but level 1s, they're challenging themselves. That's great. This guy just doesn't want to be bored. But it doesn't matter. You'll still get a 10,000th of a fucking percent or a point, right? And all he's got to do is go fucking kill 5 things, 7 things. That's a good team. Look at that. Boom. Bunch of new guys. 28. Yep, he's got it. And another thing too. I've taken people under level 10 onto HellDivers successfully more than once. More than once. Right? It's a mind game, right? And if you want to sit here and go, "Oh, it's just too difficult." It's all a perception. You have to adjust to their tactics, their movements, their fighting styles, right? So they all have their own needs, wants, and goals. These guys have all their needs, wants, and goals. They're trying to get a piece of the pie, right? And we're trying to grab at the piece of the pie, but we're trying to stab each other in the fucking hand so they can't grab, right? Because they're bad guys to us. But us collectively, all this fucking dumb, stupid infighting, I bet I could find something autistic as fuck. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's... When was this? 5:01 p.m. Oh, look at that. 54 minutes ago. Initial hours is for concentration and choose either. 20% reserve force. Right? And if you lose hope in a war, guess what happens? You put yourself in the mindset to be a fucking loser in the first place, and you're gonna fucking lose. This was not approved by High Command. That's dumb as fuck. Toxic to the fan base. Okay, yeah, we won't shame people who just want to play the game they want to, right? Cool. Let's actually read this and focus on some discussion. You want to focus major order? Great. You want 100% creek timer, perfect flying? Do you want to do nothing but fight bugs? Guess what? It's okay. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm a creek diver, and I will fucking admit it. Alright? But I'm still out here saying that it's good that these guys can still keep 10K on a planet. And their number is gonna, that percent's gonna keep dropping. It will. Because I've seen it on the creek. I have. 43,000 here. It's okay. Decent number for 4E, okay? If it hits 15, yeah, start worrying. Alright? These guys can fuck off. Half of these dudes can go somewhere else. They can. And it's right the fuck over here. We might make this. We might not. In a day and 3 hours. Who can tell? So when we look at a shithole that's Reddit,
We must tear free our galaxy from the affliction of bug and bot alike.
yeah, this guy's right. Failures don't have to be for the worst. I do have to go for the campaigns, despite me liking bugs more, but it does help against the game getting stale. Yeah, just dive. Cool. So yeah, when I'm like, yeah, these guys are at like 97% when we were getting the robot, and I'm like, nah, these guys got it. Yeah, I'm gonna go push myself where I'm needed to help sustain the attrition. Every gun matters. Every body matters. Every working, able, capable individual fucking matters. It's just a couple of you are dumb as fuck. And you were saying we're dumb as fuck over here. And then you want to make dumb, stupid fucking memes. It's not going to lock us out of content. Who cares about content? We know it's going to come. Devs are not going to shove hundreds of man hours. Yeah, because we fucking suck. Well, yeah, it's pretty grounded content. Pretty fucking grounded. Yeah, it's tragic. See a lot of posts regarding failing major orders, be it bug divers or creekers. It's neither. I'll start with the more popular one. Most people love a creeker, not creekers. Creekers are capped out 20k, fluctuating down to 5. Yeah, and I've already proven it was below 15. It was below 2,000. Sudden increase in actual people following major order, seeing that the creek has most liberation, so they'll join there, which makes it have the most players, so more people join. I guarantee the numbers will go back down to normal levels. The supply lines were shown, they're not common knowledge outside of the Discord and Reddit, which is most of the player base. Right now, a bunch of people are thinking the creek is the most liberated planet with the path towards the ammo. Mission objective. Bug divers are just playing the game. Yes, creekers do that too, but it's up to them and the game they purchased. Yeah. Yes. But when you make comments like this, right? It's this ableist kind of mindset too. Now I'm not trying to be well actually that kind of fucking guy, but you know, it's gonna sound like that. Treat it like a fucking war. That's what the game is intended to be, a war game, a war exercise. Play it like it's a war. But understand that yeah, if you want to do bugs, evenly disperse yourself. If you see 40,000 here, guess what? Go to Hellmire. Oh, you don't like the fire tornadoes? Oh, okay, fine. Go to fucking Fori. Okay. You got 2 other options. I fought on bug planets because part of the major order, I'll always fight at least 1 or 2 missions for a major order. And I'll go. But, y'all want to hell dive? Fine, hell dive. I'm gonna look like a pussy or a bitch. I have hell dived. I've come out fairly strong on fucking hell dives. Let's see if I can find my last video on the amount of samples we fucking pulled.
Orbital thrusters.
I'm playing with a bunch of friends. And yeah, this is boring as fuck. No, it's easy.
worst for last.
No, we fucked that one up. Yeah, I think this was it. And yeah, I'm an autocannon guy. It's a very practical fucking asset. Yeah, this was it. This is where we pulled a ridiculous amount of samples. Game, dude. Yeah, and I'll pause it. I'll bring it back. 1250. Let's go. Warming up all day just for this. Outstanding. That is the largest pool besides having cheaters. Everything is completed. Everyone survived. 9% remaining. 36-minute match. Perfect fucking game, dude. Perfect fucking. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Unimpossible. If it was Helldive, then it would have been. And then it's the final op. Okay, that's a good pull. 29, 19, and 5.
I only need 5 more.
It's a good point. I think on this one we pulled even more. Middle. Alright. Yeah, it just dropped. The order dropped.
Another one.
Oh no, we all died. Womp womp womp. No, not this
Choose
piece of
any
shit.
of the available operations, Helldiver.
Let's do the
Each one
cart
you
wheel.
complete is a paving stone on the road to liberty.
But we can pull mad amounts of shit. Let me see if that it closed out. But that's really the hot take of it all. Like this bullshit infighting is dumb, right? Major orders are good. They give us benefits. They guide us on the path that the devs want. Um, and that's good. Yeah, it gets us through a story, sure. But when we look at a strategic standpoint from a war, people who study war, understand war, are in the military or whatever, right? Malevelon Creek is still important because of the supply chains for robots. It is. It still fucking is. Womp womp womp. I know you guys are all fucking big sad about it, but it is. And we got people still stuck in the Trigon sector who haven't played
We
since
cannot let
it
the
got
enemy
freed.
any closer to Super Earth.
103 here, got about 50 here. I think these are just people training. I don't know. Maybe. You can do Krieg, then another planet, then back to Uban and Tibbet, or you can do drop near Uban, then Tibbet. Hell, even looking at 46,000 people to Krieg, probably thinking, oh, we can take Krieg, then we go back to Uban and Tibbet. Yeah, he's not wrong. People are thinking that, and that's the point I just made. We can. We can go to Drugan. We can go to fucking Uban. Ubania. Ubania? Yeah, and then Tibbet. Because of the supply routes. We can. We can. Supply routes, even on the bug side, are important to only us. Right? Some people don't know there's major orders. A lot of people just boot their PS5, click quick play, and don't hang out on Discord and external websites. Yeah, and that's the thing too. PlayStation guys, you guys suck most of the time. Um, it's not Call of Duty. Don't talk to people like you're on fucking COD. Yeah. If you call me a pussy, you're right. I'm a pussy. Ooh, even when I'm fucking showing you up on your fucking shitty level 3 mission and I'm out here to help you and you want to fucking start team killing. Yeah, ooh, real funny. So, but yeah, we gotta go liberate Tibet. But here's the thing, right? We still have a liberation campaign. You see how the Major Order has a very similar symbol to the liberation campaign of the Major Order, right? The white circle with the crosshair in it. So does this one. It's kind of weird. I wonder why they're both there. That's kind of fucking crazy. This is the main objective here. It doesn't have it yet, but it's got a special symbol for the end goal, right? These are going to get us there. Supply chains matter. So get off your fucking stupid ass high horse or your dumb, ignorant fucking whatever. Major order alert 2 days ago. Blah blah blah. So this guy's a G. He fucking yeah. It's all the Creekers' fault. Yep, it's the Creekers' fault. It's the 30,000 people sustaining here. It's all our fault. When you guys can pull 600,000 on a front. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's the rant. That's the gambit. That's the gist. At the end of it, it's if you don't understand the theory, you don't understand the mechanics, you don't understand, you know, the the motivations of the NPC AI lore or this or that, then then whatever. Just don't get fucking mad when you don't understand. All right? Because you choose to stay ignorant. It's really the whole fucking thing. This is just a video to kind of maybe put perspective in on you know predetermined player side, all right? And maybe to help give some knowledge to those who are on the bot side about like, you know, what these guys are going through. We've had a lot of stuff going on here because we're told to go over there. But at the end of the day, right, unity of effort is what's going to win. All right. Us understanding that we have to put people here and people here. And yeah, it's better to have more people here, right? But it's still just as important for these guys to not lose planets to bugs so that they infect other areas, right? Especially with the mutations going on and all that, right? So there is validity in staying here. So these 10,000 people, 9,000 people on Hellmire are doing what Creekers have been doing since the fucking start, holding the fucking line. And that is perfectly good. And I encourage people to still hold the fucking line. But when we have a severe fucking disparity, and in the other videos, clear fucking disparity, right? It just makes this shit stupid, dumb, and I laugh at it. It's fucking funny. So, impact on the Galactic War is mostly determined by the amount of XP earned, which is multiplied difficulty in the operation. Anything that awards higher amount of XP will result in higher impact on the war. Higher difficulties will award a higher XP and impact multiplier when all operations are set and completed. This means that clearing side objectives and outposts in this will indirectly result in more impact. Yeah, okay, yeah, yes. Clearing side objectives and stuff will create a bigger impact, right? Go destroy more radio towers because, you know, people are doing illegal broadcasts. Perfect. Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. You know, oh, they're producing a lot more, destroy a
Alcubierre
bunch of
drive calibration complete.
um, go destroy fabricators because they're producing too much. Yeah, okay, cool. You know, mid-level difficulty op and map cleared, and all HellDivers extracted difficulty multiplier, more XP. This and that's I don't know who Spitz is. I don't know how effective that is. I don't know who Spitz is. I'm not in a Discord. They got it's overburdened.
The efforts of HellDivers across the galaxy are all that keeps the enemy from Liberty's doorstep.
I don't know how true this is. I could be wrong. If that's what a new patch note says, then fine. But when we look at again percentages. Now, if it's about, you know, if we're spamming trivial missions and winning, is that going to affect how many more illegal broadcasts there are or how much more production's happening? It could be. Could be. But that's something I'm going to have to dive into. But broader topics of discussion on total cumulative players in a specific area bitching about people who are desperate and lacking in reinforcement is the main point. So I'll look into it. I could be wrong as of now. Yeah, it's a narrative device. Game telling you that your war impact is that. Right. Level 5, be level 8, C3 points go up either.
Every moment we ruminate, another family is torn limb from limb. We must strike.
I have no idea how he's doing that. Operational difficulty. Impact is dynamic. It represents current total population. Affirming the API luckily provides the value it represents in the universe on the player count. Following image, you can see. Okay, impact multiplier. Less players, more impact? But why does it spike? Uh, 'Client shows a lot of approximated values of players, blah blah blah. Contribution seen is one of them. Many decimals, which don't look nice. That's why it's displayed rounded up. So assuming you did a HellDive op with the impact that was 0.02, each mission would deal 89. So 1.78 damage. This value is then rounded to 2, then multiplied by the amount of missions operations. 3 is equal to 6 contributions shown on the operation screen. However, doing the same operation, impact was 0.01, you'll do 0.89. Round of 1 is 3 squad comp. I've only ever seen 3. I haven't ever seen a day in my life it go above fucking 3. So 5 times much as big, expect the community would absolutely destroy an enemy opposition. You need to make things work all times when your count is huge. When players count inevitably drops later on. Cap is not the way to do it. This means no matter how well we coordinate, we can only go as fast as the devs want, and it feels bad. Yeah, well, they're devs. Coordination matters. That means no matter how well we coordinate, we can go as fast. So something I'll have to look into. And the difficulty multiplier is based on stuff. I have never seen anything above a 3. Let me go back to that video. One of these two. Do 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 do. Blah blah blah. Even on the level 8, we only put 3 points up and we aced it. So that doesn't even. I did not wear a timer. Ooh, the big girthy suit. Yeah. Look. There was only
STDs.
SD. At least we. That's funny. Okay, I guess we don't want to get samples. It's cool, Donk. There's only 13 comments, you know, no big deal, I guess. You fucking.
Dude,
You
I
still.
have 500. I can't even get any more comments.
I don't mean. Okay, but other people can. It's not just about you, little guy. No, that's cool. I don't. There's one where we got an absurd amount of shit. That was a big fight.
Best bait of all time. I know you didn't even mean that, but fuck it. Hell no.
My question is, Oh, it's gonna shit itself. Of course it is. Yep. So is it completing every objective and every side quest on all three missions for the op to get a 9? And then it becomes a time thing. Is it worth putting in 120 minutes to do all these side quests to get 9 points? When, again, you can put 20 points up in the same amount of fucking time as doing one mission. So it's right. I don't know. It still seems like we can still do trivials, right? Based on that 1, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 number, and on 8+ missions. And if you're trying to ace everything, kill all the fabricators and bases, do every side quest like putting up the radio towers and getting the escape pods and that, right? Is 9 points worth 120 minutes versus 20 when I can double that fucking number on the easiest shit known to fucking man? Kill one guy. Is it still comparable? Just because we can put more numbers up on higher levels by a time standard, does that still make sense? Easy mission after Impact 36. I don't think it's based on XP. I think it's mission completion or objective completion. XP has nothing to do with it. You can have maybe one or two extra missions. It's calculating what you physically done. The XP is a set number, so the correlation is uh, misrepresented by XP in my opinion, but you can still understandably come across the same way. So I don't think it exists now. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. That's a lot of reading, and it sounds boring. So this, yeah, this I would have to agree with this fucking guy. It's not based off of XP. It's mission objectives completed. You wouldn't get the XP if the objective was not completed. So again, I think this guy and I are. Oop, this guy, Duragoon girl, maybe. So, anyways, that's when you look at the grand scheme, right? 20 points versus 9 points over 120 minutes. Wow. Wow. And that's assuming you spend all of the time doing all of the objectives, right? And you're maxing it out. Versus minimal, like, and I've proved it. I have just proved it. You can do it in 2 or 3 minutes. And some of them, yeah, 7. 7 minutes is a good baseline. But
The automatons are remorseless in their
you
expansion.
still have to kind of pick
We
what's going
must
on,
not
right?
let
Well, I
this
can go
grow
in here,
cold.
yeah, 12 minutes. I can still complete it in probably about 7 and get the fuck out. Cool. I'm pulling 17 points in 2 hours if I kept doing blitz missions, which is still better than 9 in 2 hours. It's crazy. It's a crazy thought and concept. Yeah, destroy this fucking guy. Yep, and we can destroy other fabricators. This is on medium even, right? Ooh, do a fuel thing. Ooh. I think they wanted us to get off of doing trivial missions to make it harder for us so that their data number offset that they're talking about, right? You have 400,000 people fucking dicking it down on trivial, which is not going to happen. But yeah, and then all of a sudden in a day versus 5 or 6 days, it's done. So they changed something in a way that made it confusing enough, but not technically incorrect at all, to make us change how we operate, right? The game devs are smarter than most people, right? And you can throw words around. So unless yeah, someone has hard data or hard math, then I'd very much would like to fucking see it. So, and I think a bunch of people kind of get it at this point, as far as like, yep.
The enemy has launched a
So
cowardly attack against one of our planets. Will you defend it?
has that dropped a bit? Yeah, maybe. So I made this. It's 54. So just
Every moment we
be
rest,
mindful.
another family is torn limb from limb.
So Eastern time, it's about 3 p.m., 4 p.m. And if we look at the numbers, um, we have 119,000 on drop near. Great. I am very confident we'll make this in 17 hours. I am very confident. Okay, Malevolon is at 80%. Okay, with 65,000. It's a slow grind, but with 65,000, we are still crushing it on fucking Malevolon. Now, to kind of reiterate the problem and the argument, we have 140,000, and 100 of them are on a Stanu. Unnecessarily on a Stanu. Again, we can keep 10,000, and this is, again, 5 a.m. Korea Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern United States. Okay? 90,000 of you here, and 25,000 of you here is 115,000 of you can jump on drop near. And you would double our population. And we would definitely take this. And you know what? If you 115,000 people stay here, I guarantee you 60,000 would probably move here and guarantee Malevolon on top of drop near. And Hellfire, good for you, 16,000. Keep them. You guys have been grinding. You deserve 16,000 because you can consistently keep 10. Because these guys aren't fighting on Hellmire. It's a liberation campaign. No one's fucking pushing it. Y'all are too pissy about Istanu getting capped, getting locked out, getting taken, right? Yeah, sure, you have to defend. There's no event against you guys right now besides defend for like another hour. But you guys can still manage to pull 104,000 unnecessarily when you can ideally, a 70,000 K defense or a 70,000 push to maintain. And we've been doing it. We've been doing it over here, and we've increased percentage points by maybe 10%, 20% in 8 hours, 15. I'd have to exactly look. I'll post the number on the screen of a closer percentage. If we can do it with 65,000, guys, being generous, you give us 60,000. 60. You can keep 40 on this fucking shithole. Bring them the fuck over here. Bring them to drop near. Fuck it. We know we're gonna. I am very confident we're gonna win here. And look, we could move up to 100, and we can get both. We can still get both. That's our mindset on Malevolon and Drop Near as automatons. And y'all want to sit here and be goofballs, right? 140, 120, and 60. So yeah, we technically have more numbers, but some of you terminated guys, thank you for coming over to an automaton front and helping where the war effort matters right now because of the major orders. Thank you. Really. Fucking, it's great. But it just goes to prove my point that I can go to bed and come back sometime later, like 12 hours later, and see just garbage that is perpetuated by the guy saying that we're the ones fucking up. When you guys are proving to us right now that you absolutely need 100 fucking K is dumb as fuck. It's dumb. I would not doubt that you guys get. I don't know. We'll see. Can you make a Stanu? Can you? Can you in an hour? Ooh, you guys absolutely need this giant fucking push. That's weird. That's weird. And this number's climbing. And this number's climbing. More effort. Unity of effort, guys. All right, come on. I have a lot of faith that we can make drop near and Malevolent. All right, I do. I really fucking do. So, with that being said, please try to understand the perspective of automaton guys. All right, Halmeyer feels like Malevolent Creek right now. So you guys who are grinding away, guess what? That's a little bit of medicine. But you get it, and I get it. All right. So like, and I'm not saying, ooh, 60,000. 60,000? Can we take 60? You guys keep 40? Can we? Can we? We'll see what an hour looks like. We'll see what an hour looks like. Because you want to talk about stressing and flexing. Wild. Shit. 40 doesn't matter right now. We could definitely take 25,000. Definitely. Keep 10. Keep 10,642. Shit, you gave us 40,000. Fuck. I'm confident. Come back an hour later. Standards liberated. Great. Now we have 77,000 over here. So a bunch of people just moved over to 40. A bunch of fucking people. Hellmeyer got a buff. It got a buff. A nice 10K buff, right? Oh, here we are on 40. I haven't even looked at the numbers, and I'm sure you can fucking see it in my like blot for blot. 70 fucking thousand. We're at 98% in an hour, from 96 to 98, a 4% increase. All right. And from my video, which I made about 12 hours prior, before doing the cuts and edits, that's a 13% increase. We went from 68% to 81%. All right, in about 12 hours. So if we add another 13, that's 94. 94 fucking percent. All right, with 4 hours remaining, we could cut this because this is gonna happen in an hour. Drop near is gonna happen in an hour. All right, and it is currently almost 6 a.m. 80%. We'll make it. If these guys, they're gonna be smart. They're gonna fucking huff over here because you put people on the bug side still can't get the fuck over and defend, which is crazy. It's still crazy, even to see actively. It's crazy. 60,000 of you could reinforce Malevolent right now. And you guys would be fine. 50,000 of you could reinforce Malevolent. Give us almost 50% increase. Almost. Come on, please. Thing is, we're gonna make both.